Hello everybody, this is Dr. Kaustubh Mohite, a pediatric pulmonologist from Mumbai. And today we talk about yet another interesting topic in pediatric respiratory medicine, which is pulmonary function test. Before we get into the details of pulmonary function test, we should understand why do we order a PFT, which test do we choose in specific conditions, and in a very short, how do we interpret it and how it helps to aptly take a clinical decision. First is why do we need a PFT? It is to diagnose an obstructive or restrictive disease once it comes to an airway related problem in pediatric age group. Second is how to monitor the disease progression, to check the response to the given line of management, and lastly, how do we prognosticate certain chronic lung diseases. So first, let us understand a few basic types of pulmonary function tests, commonly being peak flowmetry, spirometry, impulsed oscillometry, fractional exhaled nitric oxide. Other less commonly done pulmonary function test includes gas dilution tests, multiple breath washout tests, or even tests like body plethysmography. So let's understand these common tests one by one. First, which is very commonly done, is something called as peak flowmetry. This test mainly measures the airflow and volumes during forced exhaled maneuvers. As this involves forced exhaled maneuvers, this is possible only in children more than 5 years old. It is a simple handheld physical device in which the child does multiple attempts of forceful exhalation to determine the peak expiratory flow. A serially done peak flowmetry helps us to determine early signs of obstruction, and also in children who have been prescribed inhaled therapy, whether these kids are responding to the given line of management or not. Having said the serial values, a single value is of not much use, but a serial values over a period of time helps us to determine how well this child is responding to the given line of management. Next, very commonly done test is spirometry. Here, the main principle stands that it measures the volumes and flow of air during forced inhalation and exhalation. Now, having said that these also require forceful maneuvers, this can also be done successful in kids appropriately more than 6 years old. Various key parameters that we check in this test is your forced expiratory volume at 1 second, forced vital capacity, the ratio between the forced expiratory volume in 1 second and the forced vital capacity, and finally the flow volume loop that helps us a pictorial image of an obstructive or a restrictive kind of disease. To make it very easy to interpret, an obstructive pattern is the one in which your FEV1 is reduced as compared to your FVC, and hence the total ratio is reduced, which is very typically seen in obstructive airway diseases like childhood asthma. In the restrictive pattern, both FEV1 as well as FVC are reduced, and hence the ratio stays normal or is relatively increased, as typically seen in restrictive lung diseases like an interstitial lung disease. Also, thing that can be determined using a spirometry is a bronchodilator response, in which an adequate response or an increase in the FEV1 value by more than 10 to 12% or by an absolute value of more than 200 ml after giving a bronchodilator tells that this child or the airways of these children are adequately responding to the given line of management. Next, we come to a relatively new modality of pulmonary function test, which is an impulse oscillometry. It works on the principle of superimposing different frequency sound waves onto the tidal breathing of the child, which helps to determine the resistance of your lower airways as well as your upper airways. Now, having said that this is tidal breathing, this can be done in relatively younger age group, even as young as 3 years old. The main concept or the physics behind this test is that lower frequency sound waves travel further towards the smaller airways as compared to the higher frequency sound waves which bounce back from the upper airways itself. Like your spirometry, there are few parameters which we see in impulse oscillometry, which involves resistance, reactance, resonant frequency, area under the curve. The change in these values as compared to the pre-bronchodilator test to the post-bronchodilator response gives us the relative resistance of these airways. The major advantage being, since this involves tidal breathing, minimal cooperation is required and kids of younger age group can also tolerate this procedure very well. Another newer modality is fractional exhaled nitric oxide. This helps us to measure the nitric oxide levels in the inhaled air as a marker of eosinophilic inflammation. A cutoff of more than 35 parts per billion of fractional exhaled nitric oxide suggests airway inflammation and also suggests that these airways would be responsive to steroid use. This not only helps us to diagnose the airway inflammation but also to prognosticate and to look for response to medication once these kids are started on inhaled steroids. Various other modalities which are not very commonly used in pediatric age group involve gas dilution method, multiple breath washout method as well as body plethysmography. These tests mainly help to even determine the static lung volumes which are not possible to determine in your previous forced expiratory or tidal maneuver techniques. Now, having known multiple types of pulmonary function test, we should use proper test in proper age groups looking at proper respiratory conditions. So consider a child with a preschool wheeze. We can use impulse oscillometry in kids even less than 5 years old along with fractional exhaled nitric oxide to confirm the pathology even in case of asthma and further prescribe them on bronchodilator therapy. In the relatively older kids who are school age kids with chronic cough or suspected asthma, we can use spirometry for diagnosis as well as to look for response for therapy. For further chronic lung diseases like cystic fibrosis, primary ciliary dyskinesia or interstitial lung disease, we need to determine various static lung volumes in which the relatively rare methods like multiple breath washout, gas dilution or body plethysmography can be used. So, to summarize, one should choose age appropriate and cooperation appropriate tests once it comes to pediatric pulmonary function tests. All these pulmonary function tests should be always interpreted with the clinical context. When having a choice, always a combination of mechanical tests with inflammatory test, which means a spirometry or an impulse oscillometry with a fractional exhaled nitric oxide should be used together for complete assessment. And finally, these lung function tests aim not only to diagnose but also to prognosticate and to determine the response to treatment in various pediatric respiratory diseases. Thank you.